Like looking into the gates of hell, was one scientist's remark as it was revealed publicly this month that a black hole has been observed by human technology for the first time in history. We have long speculated the existence of black holes. The very fact that an unseen force was having incredible effects on surrounding objects in the universe gave us a big enough hint that something destructive was wreaking havoc. We call these things black holes, but we have very little knowledge about what these enormous monsters actually are. We leave it up to theoretical speculation to fit this phenomenon onto an acceptable reality within our thinking abilities. But of course, we don't know for sure what these things are. We don't know what takes place in these things, but think about this. The black hole is seemingly hoovering up everything round about it, sucking in everything within the gravitational distance with such massive pulling force that light from these objects no longer radiates. Where are these things going? Are they going to a hidden realm, or are they being compressed to very small sizes? It is a stunning question, and one in which scientists and astronomers have been speculating on for many years. In 1783, John Michel wrote a paper in the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society of London about what he called dark stars. He pointed out that a star that was sufficiently massive and compact would have such a strong gravitational field that light could not escape. Any light emitted from the surface of the star would be dragged back to the star's gravitational attraction before it could get very far. Michel suggested that there might be a large number of stars like this, although we would not be able to see them because the light from them would not reach us. We would still feel their gravitational attraction. Such objects are what we now call black holes, because that is what they are, black voids in space. Effects of a black hole and what is taking place inside the reaction is largely assumed, as we have no real way to answer such a question. One scientist wondered what these effects would be like on small-scale items like the human body, for example. Let's assume that you start outside the event horizon of the black hole. As you look toward it, you see a circle of perfect darkness. Around the black hole, you see the familiar stars of the night sky, but their patterns is strangely distorted as the light from distant stars gets bent by the black hole's gravity. As you fall toward the black hole, you move faster and faster, accelerated by its gravity. Your feet feel a stronger gravitational pull than your head because they are closer to the black hole. As a result, your body is stretched apart. For small black holes, this stretching is so strong that your body is completely torn apart before you reach the event horizon. If you fall into a supermassive black hole, your body remains intact, even as you cross the event horizon. But soon thereafter, you reach the central singularity, where you are squished into a single point of infinite destiny. You have become one with the black hole. How do we know this? We don't know this, and even if we were ever to experience it, either ourselves or via a probe, there is no way that we know of to send a signal documenting this experience on the effects of a black hole, because nothing escapes. Remember, in this sense, and my trusting this theory, we will never know the truth with 100% certainty. The new observations is incredible. That supermassive black hole is 55 million light years away from the Earth. How, oh how, can we peer that far, you have to wonder. Traveling at the speed of light for 55 million years just to reach this part of space is of course completely unthinkable, so how are they seeing this? 26 telescopes from around the planet were involved in gathering the data, including 8 major radio telescopes. Of course, we are gathering data and restitching the data through CGI. This gives us a view that the experts are suggesting is a realistic glimpse into this unreachable realm. This isn't a case of pointing a telescope and seeing a view of this thing. No, much more complex, and the effort in getting this one image was global. The stunning new image shows the shadow of the supermassive black hole in the center of Messier 87. M87, an elliptical galaxy some 55 million light years from Earth. This black hole is 6.5 billion times the mass of the Sun. Catching its shadow involved 8 ground-based radio telescopes around the globe, operating together as if they were one telescope the size of an entire planet. The naming of the new discovery was left to the Hawaiian Observatory. Pōwehi is the perfect name for the M87 black hole because it bears an epic meaning. Embellished dark source of unending creation. Isn't that incredible? Most famously, black holes were predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity, which showed that when a massive star dies, it leaves behind a small, dense remnant core. If the core's mass is more than about 3 times the mass of the Sun, the equation showed the force of gravity overwhelms all other forces and produces a black hole. Scientists can't directly observe black holes with telescopes that detect X-rays, light, or other forms of electromagnetic radiation. We can, however, infer the presence of black holes and study them by detecting their effect on other matter nearby. If a black hole passes through a cloud of interstellar matter, for example, it will draw matter inward in a process known as accretion. A similar process can occur if a normal star passes close to a black hole. In this case, the black hole can tear the star apart as it pulls it toward itself. As the attracted matter accelerates and heats up, it emits X-rays that radiate into space. Recent discoveries offer some tantalizing evidence that black holes have a dramatic influence on their neighborhoods around them, emitting powerful gamma-ray bursts, devouring nearby stars, and spurring the growth of new stars in some areas while stalling it in others. Although the basic formation process is understood, one perennial mystery in the science of black holes is that they appear to exist on 2 radically different size scales. On the one end, there are the countless black holes that are the remnants of massive stars peppered throughout the universe. These stellar mass black holes are generally between 10 to 24 times as massive as Earth's Sun. Astronomers spot them when another star draws near enough for some of the matter surrounding it to be snared by the black hole's gravity, churning out X-rays in the process. Most stellar black holes, however, lead isolated lives and are impossible to detect. Judging from the number of stars large enough to produce such black holes, however, scientists estimate that there are as many as 10 million to a billion such black holes in the Milky Way alone. On the other end of the size spectrum are the giants known as supermassive black holes, which are millions, if not billions of times as massive as the Sun. Astronomers believe that supermassive black holes lie at the center of virtually all large galaxies, even our own Milky Way. Astronomers can detect them by watching for their effects on nearby stars and gas. Will Earth ever experience falling into a black hole? No, probably not. Our Sun is not massive enough to form into a large-scale black hole. Instead, if it collapses in on itself after it becomes a white dwarf and loses most of its fuel, the same gravity it has today will have the same effects on the solar system. So the planets will orbit the black hole in the future, just as it does the Sun today. But of course, our idea and understanding are not one and the same, and we are yet to understand, and in fact prove, that they even form from stars. Just saying. The closest black holes yet discovered are several thousand light years away. They are so far that they have no effect on Earth or its environment. A supermassive black hole appears to inhabit the center of the Milky Way galaxy, about 27,000 light years away. Although it's several million times the mass of the Sun, its great distance ensures that it won't affect our solar system. The new image is the largest black hole that we have confirmed, and to get a scale of how big it is, consider this. M87 is a giant elliptical galaxy in the constellation Virgo. The M87 black hole appears to be about 7 billion times the mass of the Sun, with a diameter of about 25 billion miles, more than 4 times the diameter of the orbit of Neptune, the most distant planet in our solar system. Messier 87 is near the center of the Virgo cluster, which is a closely compacted structure of about 2,000 galaxies, which forms the core of the larger Virgo supercluster, of which the local group, including the Milky Way by the way, is an outlying member. It is organized into at least 3 distinct subsystems associated with the 3 large galaxies, with the subgroup centered around M87. Measurements of the motion of intercluster planetary nebula between M87 and M86 suggest that the 2 galaxies are moving toward each other and that this may be their first encounter. The effort involved to bring us this image of such a faraway space object is just incredible, inspirational even. It proves that we can not only envision a concept and prove this concept to be a real thing, but also suggests that we humans have a far higher understanding hidden within our subconscious of such things. It is astonishing. When we suspect something, it's not like a discovery, but more like a remembrance from a previous event. Makes you wonder not what we can find in the universe, but what we are looking for. A profound thought with no apparent answer until we find such a thing, or do we already know what we are looking for? Also guys, we were left in shock this week as footage and photographs of the Notre Dame Cathedral disaster emerged. Is this a symbolic act? You have to wonder. We can't help but feel very curious about the burning of this holy place, and the fact that they were able to save most of the artifacts would suggest they had a prior warning to the fire and so prepared for it. Shocking nonetheless, whatever the truth may be. We would love to hear your thoughts on this below. Just before we go guys, we'd like to shout out our friend and longtime supporter Valerie. Val goes by the YouTube username Lynn Mitzi. Most of you guys probably recognize the name, and that is because she loves to support her favorite YouTube channels by commenting and giving feedback to the creators. Val also loves to do live streams on anything that takes her fancy, perhaps her neighbor's new fence or an update on the weather. She does live stream a lot. Well, she used to. Recently, YouTube told her she needs 1,000 subscribers to re-enable this feature, which was disabled just recently. It would be great if a few of you can head over and drop her a sub to help her get to that milestone. That's all for the moment, guys. We hope you have enjoyed the topic today, and we will be back just shortly with more topics of interest that we hope will interest you as much as it does us. Comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.